So welcome everybody, and thank you for joining us today for Lunch with Lucy. For those who have joined us for the first time, we're so happy that you're here. My name is Kate Remillard. I'm on the marketing team at VHT Studios, and I will be your MC. We have an amazing guest today, but before we get started, I need to mention that we have everyone muted except for our panelists. So if you have questions for our guest, please add them to the Q&A box on your screen, and we'll answer those as we go, as well as save some time at the end. You'll also want to stay until the end where we'll announce the 5 winners of the free lunch provided by VHT Studios, and you must be present to win. So with that, I'm happy to introduce our host, Lucy Edwards.
Hello, everybody. It's such a pleasure to be here with you, and I'm very excited to have a wonderful topic about Women Council of Realtors. I'm going to introduce right now Pamela Banks, the president of Women Council of Realtors, and would love to just for you, Pamela, to say a few words about yourself.
Well, thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. Lucy, it's great to be with you today. So as a member and as a leader in the Women's Council of Realtors, I am also a realtor, and I've been a realtor for 20 years. I got my real estate license, actually going on 21 years, in 2000. After many successful careers in sales, I decided it was time to jump into real estate, and ever since, it is not only my career, it's also my passion. So I immediately got involved, super successful, selling a lot of real estate, but I knew there was something more to real estate than just helping people buy and sell homes. And that's when my broker introduced me to the Women's Council of Realtors. And that was in 2004. So if you can add up the numbers, it's been quite a long time ago. I joined the local network at the time and immediately immersed myself in that group of people that were so involved in the real estate industry. So not only were they selling real estate, they were affecting change and being part of the change, and they were supporting one another. So, you know, it's been quite a journey. I never thought I'd end up being the national president of the Women's Council of Realtors. However, you never know where life is going to take you. You just keep opening the doors and keep saying yes. So that's how I ended up getting here, Lucy.
That is wonderful, and I'm sure it's an exciting position. You get to meet so many interesting people who are also passionate about what they do, and you are so right. Being here is not all about real estate and selling homes and buying homes, and it's also helping each other. So it's not just your clients who are buyers and sellers, but it's also other realtors who are involved and who are involved in everyday life. So I think that is just absolutely marvelous. What about history of your organization? So if you can just mention a few words about Women Council of Realtors history.
Well, the Women's Council of Realtors has a long legacy and history in the real estate industry. We were formed in 1938, if you can imagine. We're celebrating 83 years of this amazing organization that has changed people's lives. And we are the oldest affiliate of the National Association of Realtors. And we're very proud of our partnership and our relationship with them over the years. And, you know, it's changed just like we have all changed over the years. So the Women's Council started out, you know, so that women could bond together and be treated fairly in the real estate industry. And over years, we realized that education and training were all so important to all of us. We are lifelong learners. And so the Women's Council of Realtors provides opportunities and experiences for our members to learn and grow and discover their possibilities. And, you know, we have members that are local and state presidents, and we have National Association of Realtors presidents that are our members. And if you ask them, well, where did you get your start, or how did you get your courage and your confidence to get involved and really take action in your career, they will say it was the Women's Council of Realtors. This is a powerful organization, and a lot of the local and state associations look to the Women's Council of Realtors when they're looking for leaders, because the foundation of our organization is leadership. Because whether you're a leader in your home, your business, your community, your real estate career, your profession, no matter what, leadership skills are one of the #1 important skills that you need to have. So why not make the most of them?
Absolutely. And it is a wonderful organization. And I know, like, I'm here in New York area, and we have a absolutely fabulous Women Council of Realtors Empire chapter that we are involved in as VHT Studios, and I always participate in all the networking events. And it's a very powerful organization to introduce us not just to other partners, but also to members, to other agents. I would like to talk about it at least a little bit. How do you feel about your partners and members who also sometimes agents and broker owners of real estate companies become also partners in the organization? So let's talk about that.
So to begin with, on every level of our organization, we believe that in order to be successful, you have to build relationships and collaborations and partnerships. So in our organization, we have our local networks, we have our state networks, and then we have the National Women's Council of Realtors. On a national level, we collaborate and partner with the National Association of Realtors. We have strategic partners such as Chase Bank, Two Men and Truck, Pillar to Post, and so many more that give of their time to us and help our members to learn more about doing business in real estate, because we're not experts in moving, we're not experts in inspections. However, we can learn from one another. So we allow our strategic partners an opportunity to get in front of some of the best and the brightest agents in the industry that belong to the Women's Council. And in return, they share their expertise with us so that we can learn and grow and be better and be one step ahead of our competition, because we know that this business is a lot of competition. The National Association of Realtors just edged over 1.5 members, and the Women's Council of Realtors has 250 local and state networks across the country, and we have a presence in 39 states. So we are one of the most effective and efficient referral network that is out there. We send thousands and thousands of dollars. In fact, I'm closing about $25,000 worth of referrals at the end of this month, because I have built a relationship with the members of the Women's Council of Realtors. So we like to share the wealth.
Very impressive numbers, that's for sure. So congratulations on your success. Great success story. And since we are on the networking events topic, I would like to ask you about events across the country. So you have your local events, and then you have your national events. And do you participate in, for example, local and national conferences and expos?
Well, because if the pandemic taught us anything, it taught us that we can do things differently and still be successful. So here we are, and I know a lot of your meetings, Lucy, were live. You were talking to people, and now here you are, you're talking to me, and I'm in Florida and you're in New York. So the wonderful thing about what has happened over the last year and a half is I have been able to attend, to be part of more events, more education, more programs, more celebrations than ever before. And talk about networking. This is about the best time in the real estate industry to network, because you can log on, you can see where there's going to be an education session, whether it be in California or in Texas, in Idaho, I mean, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, wherever you want to go, and hop on, join in, and start to learn about what's happening in those areas. What's the topics that are hot? Are they selling luxury homes? Is the rental market hot? So you're gaining some really great knowledge while you're networking. So that's on a local level. On a state level, we bring it even up a notch. This is where the state will have a huge conference. And what they've done over the years, of course, is they were live, because we are a relationship, we are touchy, we love to hug. We like to do all those kind of things that really involve people getting to know people, feeling comfortable, feeling welcome, being inclusive. It's all about our members. And so what we have decided is, since we can't meet in person, we had to turn everything over and do it virtually. So a lot of our states are doing virtual sessions. And then what they're also doing is they're doing hybrid. So if they can't meet in person or virtually, then you can do both. You can be both. Now, the really awesome thing is, we as a national organization have not been together personally until I think it is August, when we have our Network 360 leadership training, which will be in Chicago. So we're going to get together and it's going to be explosive. It's going to be wonderful. And then we're going to get together in San Diego in November for our national conference. Now, you know, I'm in Florida. We talked about that. And so Florida is having a live conference in August. So again, we're going to get together in person. We're going to network. We're going to learn. We're going to earn. And we're going to work together so that we can all be more successful and all be empowered. I mean, it's all about empowering one another. And what we say at the Women's Council is we don't compete with one another. We complete one another. That's what it's all about.
That is a great saying. We complete one another. Very nice. Thank you. And now, since we're talking about conferences and such, with National Association of Realtors, how close do you work with that organization?
Wow. Well, you know what? We have worked over the last 3 years. We have partnered on a Supporting Women in Real Estate grant program where we give $25,000 to local or state associations. In fact, it's running right now. So if you're out there and you have a local or state association and you want to put on a program for women in real estate, please go to WCR.org and just click on the subject that says Women in Real Estate Grant, because we're giving away $25,000. We give 10 $2,500 grants to these associations, and the Women's Council works together with them. However, it's really up to the local and state associations. So as far as the National Association, that's one way we partner. Another way that we partner is we actually put together a women's program at the national conference. We normally do a panel discussion where we bring in super successful women who share their story. And the neat thing is that all of these successful women have different stories, yet they are still successful, just like you and me. We're going to do things differently. And there's all these different paths that can get you to where you want to go. And so when we hear that and we listen to these women that are telling us, you know, what they did to get to where they're at, it makes us all better. So that is another way we partner. And then we recently have partnered internationally. So we're working with Spain. We've done a program, a leadership business program for women around the globe in Spanish. We did a 4-hour program last November, and we had over 700 women from 8 different countries attending. So, you know, it's super exciting to be in real estate. And as we see, and as you will know, is that the Women's Council of Realtors is continually changing. It's continually evolving to meet the needs of our members and the real estate industry. And over the years, we've helped thousands and thousands of women and men. Yes, just so you know, 10% of our members are men. They are the really smart ones because they know where they should be hanging out. And we help them in their businesses, help them grow their businesses, help them build, maybe open a brokerage, maybe branch out and go into, not only in real estate, we talk about giving you the confidence and courage in your community. So many of our members are engaged with local government, with state government.
Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, since you mentioned that, when we have our networking events with Women Council of Realtors here in New York, I think there are more men than women, and they also participate in the events and helping put something together. So we have speakers. So yes, absolutely. I think it's equal opportunities there. That's for sure.
That is for sure.
Yeah. I didn't realize that you had such a successful conference in the fall in outside of the United States. So what is the global impact with Women Council of Realtors? And
well,
what's the plan?
Yes. What we're doing right now is we have a mastermind group. We have 3 mastermind groups. One of them is global, the other is commercial, and the other is broker owner. So we're breaking and branching off into smaller groups where we can brainstorm on how we can make an impact, or how our business is going to grow, or can we learn from different experiences. So we put together this, but most importantly, globally, these women are back where we were when we first started in real estate. Most of these women are just starting to come on as professionals, and they look to the Women's Council of Realtors as a mentor. as a support. Now, when we were in Spain a couple years ago, we sat in this huge room and there was probably about 60 women, and I don't speak Spanish. Uno poquito is what I tell them, very, very little. And so, but we had translators, and it was just a beautiful experience to be sitting in this room with women saying, well, how do you balance your family with your work? And how are you respected? And how have you been in business so long? And these are all the things that we have kept learning and evolving over the years. And so we're helping them to understand that it doesn't happen overnight. There's no such thing as balance, let's face it. Sometimes we're more balanced in our family life. Sometimes we're more balanced in our work. And then in the end, it all works out together. So don't freak out if you think you have to juggle all those balls at the same time, because no one can do that effectively.
That's an excellent answer. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. It's okay not to be in balance all the time, but just try to be focused and have your goals. And but it is so wonderful that your organization is opening their arms, not just to our American realtors, but also globally, and you are expanding it. So that is great. And now, since we're talking about it, what about the benefits of Women Council of Realtors and how to get involved?
Well, there are so many benefits. It really depends on what you want to get out of it. It's like anything else in life. You know, when I first got into this, when I asked my broker, I want to surround myself with like-minded professionals, discuss real estate issues, and do business. That was my focus. It wasn't about being a leader, being the president. It wasn't about that. Now, some people go into it, they really want to sharpen their public speaking. They really want to build their business. They really want to network with some of the best in the industry. They want to make more money. So it really depends. The value is there. It just depends on what you're looking for. We have something for everything. Whether you're a realtor just starting out, which, wow, if you are, this is like one of the best places to be, to really get to know people, to get to know what's happening in the industry. Or if you're a seasoned agent and you really want to keep your skills sharpened, because as we know, this business is changing all the time. And so you want to have that competitive edge, and being part of an organization such as the Women's Council of Realtors gives you a competitive edge. And for involvement in your local or state association, once you are or belong or part of the Women's Council, they look at you differently. This organization carries a lot of clout in the industry because we are the top professionals out there. We not only care about our profession, we care about one another. And so we're raising the bar of professionalism. And, you know, to get information, it's simple. Just go to wcr.org, which is our national website. Look for us on social media, National Women's Council of Realtors. We have one of the most robust social media platforms in the realtor family. You can also listen to our podcast anywhere that you listen to podcasts. We have a podcast that goes out once a month, weekly. I'm not sure exactly how often it's out there. It's out there, though. You can tune in and you can listen to successful realtors sharing their story with you and learn something new about the real estate industry.
And I understand you have really great educational programs. I personally was involved with my colleague from our sales team here in New Jersey, George T. He's here. And we were invited to talk about the importance of understanding your presentations on Zoom or Teams or whatever, how to get ready, how to be prepared, how to look, about backgrounds. So that is my personal experience on being part of your educational programs. But there are so many topics that Women Council of Realtors is introducing to agents that really helps them to grow. So it's not about, again, it's not about how to sell and how to buy. It's about different directions that help them grow in their career, right? So, but if you can just mention a few words about that, that would be great. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Lucy. We have our official designation of the Women's Council of Realtors, the PMN, which is the Performance Management Network designation. And in that designation, there are several different tracks. There's a leadership track, there's a business track, everything that you need to know about running a business. We have a course called The Business of Your Business, one of my favorite that I loved because it actually taught me how to organize myself and plan, strategically plan. Then we have negotiating for real estate professionals. Life is a negotiation. I mean, I negotiate with my family, my husband, my kids, my work. We're always negotiating. So learning how to negotiate is really important in our life and in our business. And then we just introduced a new course called the Certified Virtual Leadership Professional. And we are the only one to introduce that. Virtual, it's a virtual, because you know what? We know how to interact in person. However, you know what? It's not that we know how to interact via Zoom. Let's face it, that's a whole different type of being a leader, being a professional, how you act, what you say, what you wear. And of course, there are those do's and don'ts. You know, don't eat in front of the camera. There's all those little things that, you know, you realize that you're doing and you shouldn't be doing. So professional etiquette is key. And even when it comes to our emails, our text messages, our online presence, raising the bar of professionalism and professional development is one of the most important things with the Women's Council of Realtors, because you will be treated the way you represent yourself. And so you need to represent yourself with the utmost of professionalism. And that comes with associating with the utmost professionals, like the members and leaders of the Women's Council of Realtors.
And just a few words about social media, your presence on social media and how you approach it, how strongly you believe in it.
You know, social media is one of those things that I don't embrace a whole lot, I have to say myself. It's one of those things that when I get on it, I get self-absorbed and I can't get off of it. It's a little addictive. And so I try not to. You know I have to get on and check things out. However, I have to time block and time manage my day. And once I get on there, I want to know what's happening with Lucy, what's going on with Kate. Oh my goodness, look at Kate's friend. And it just snowballs. So I have to confess, I am not a big time social media person. However, I know it's important, but the Women's Council of Realtors is. We give out so much information. We have platforms for all of our leaders to connect with one another and to network across the country, because we believe that in order to be successful, you have to build successful relationships. And that's key. And social media, of course, is one of them. So we are everywhere. The Women's Council is. You may not find Pamela Banks you will find me, but you'll be like, wow, she hasn't been on there in a while. What's up with her? But I have to say that we do keep you up to date in our social media. The Women's Council does. And, you know, we're on Instagram and everywhere else that we need to.
You are very strong. As a matter of fact, the individual chapters are very strong on Instagram. You have Chicago, and then you have Illinois, and it's amazing. I think it's pretty good. So I would love to ask everybody, if you have any questions for Pamela, please put your questions in the chat or in Q&A. That would be great.
You know, I have to just add while you're waiting for that is that I'm here because of this organization, and so many other people will say the same thing because it gives us an opportunity, a safe place to learn and to grow and to experience. And we're learning from some of the best in the industry, and that's what's so important. So if you're thinking about, you know, how can I get more involved? You know, I really want to, you wet your feet. I mean, just do it. Just jump into something, because anything that you get into will add value to you, and in return will make a difference in the real estate industry and in you personally. It's about professional development and growth.
And a very quick question I have here, it's about your thoughts about coming out of other side of the COVID and how it impacted the industry.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know, I just did a presentation for one of our strategic partners last week, and it was all about the real estate market. And what we did is we saw the flow and what was happening and how everything kind of came to a halt at the end of March last year. However, real estate still continued. We were down a bit from the year before. What happened is then in the summer, when things started to open up, we saw another growth of real estate happening. Towards the end of the year, it bottomed out just a little bit. And then in January of this year, normally what happens in a regular year would be real estate would be all of a sudden people are done with the holidays and they're like, okay, now we're going to make our move. It's January, let's go. That really didn't happen this year. It kind of stayed very even keel. And then, as we all know, in March, it just lit up like fire all over the country. I mean, the economists were telling us that real estate's going to go up 10% this year, next year. It went up 20, 30% month after month. So what I'm noticing right now is people are getting more comfortable with letting people into their homes. We're going to see more properties come on the market because now that everybody is getting their COVID shots and all of that. So I'm going to see that more inventory will start to happen. And hopefully those buyers will have a little better chance at getting some of those multiple offers.
That's correct. Yeah, the lack of inventory just really made so many people struggle and make maybe not the right choice because that's all it's available. But hopefully that will change and it will be more inventory and it will be more work for realtors from buyer side and seller side, right?
Well, and you know what? We are all enjoying this frenzy. I have to say, I talked to everybody across the country, all of my Women's Council members. In fact, those referrals are just coming in all over the place. And we're going to take it while we can get it, because as we know, things change and they can change in another month and we never know. I had one of my customers contact me and said, what do you think is going to happen here? What's going to happen here? And I said, you know, I wish I had a crystal ball. We can only be strategic the way we think. And what's good for you at the right time is what's good for what you're going to do. Just don't worry about it. Just do what you need to do when you need to do it. That's the best advice I can give someone.
That's a good one. Do you have any questions, Kate, by any chance? Can you check?
Yeah. So Isabel was wondering how she can get involved with the organization. We did put the website in the chat for everybody to access there. Are there any other ways to find like a local local network?
Very simple, Isabel. Go to the website and there's a search on the search bar. There's find a network. We call ourselves networks because we network with one another. So just put in your town, your city, wherever you're at, and it will pull up a local network in that area. And you can also find members in that area. If you don't get it through that search of find a network, then look where it says find a member, put in your city and you'll find someone. And then you can communicate with them and say, hey, what network do you belong to? I want to become part of this organization.
Yeah, and Isabel, I understand you are from New Jersey. So if you would like to, please email me at Lucy, Lucye at VHT. I will introduce you to New Jersey network.
And New Jersey is a very powerful state with a lot of great leaders, Isabel. So yeah, tap into them. You'll really get a lot out of it.
Absolutely. No, it's great networking events, and it's helpful just to meet successful people and hear success stories. So yes, absolutely, Isabel. So let me know if you need any help, and I'll make sure I'll put everybody together.
That's fabulous. Thank you, Lucy.
Absolutely. So anybody else have some questions?
Let's see here.
So we were so good, Pamela, that there are no questions. That's
that's all right. We can go ahead and wrap up. Pamela, just thank you so much for being with us today and helping us learn more about this amazing organization. And I learned so much. I didn't know it was global. I think you guys are really making strides in helping women advance in real estate. So thank you for sharing. And let's see here. Do we have the slides up here? Okay, yes. So our next show will be Wednesday, June 23rd. And it's our special guest, return guest, Alex Montalenti with Real Grader. And we'll be talking about online presence and reputation and building your brand. So you won't want to miss that. And then let me also announce the winners of the 5 free lunches. Let me find them. Okay, we have Isabel, who we just spoke to, Jacqueline Hernandez, Judith Mazzone, Barbara Peterson, and Julie McWilliams. So look out for an email later today from DoorDash.
And Barbara is she's involved in Women Council of Realtors, as a matter of fact.
Hey.
And Barbara is organizing a huge event in New York area. As a matter of, yeah, right, Barbara, on the 22nd of June, it's going to be. So Women Council of Realtors is putting something fun together with networking, eating and drinking.
Yay, that sounds fun.
That's awesome. Another thing I just wanted to mention real quickly is that we'll send you a follow-up email after this, but Lucy is going to be speaking with on the luxury portfolio webinar next week on Wednesday. So if anybody can register for it, it's free. It's an hour next Wednesday. So we'll put that link in our follow-up email. So check that out too. Just needed to plug that real quick.
Pamela, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It was my pleasure.
Thank you. Everybody have a great day.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.